We are 5 Live. I'm Bobby T.
What's the T stand for, Bobby?
Technical difficulties, Mr. Freshmaker.
I'm Martin.
I'm Krizza.
So,
the third time, right?
As always, this would be the third. This would be our third run. As always, you can't have a 5 Live without a bunch of technical difficulties.
Well, I mean, this is like
happened early, so that's good.
This is like our second time doing a live show, so you know, problems are.
No, I wish it turns out that's not true.
No.
So we are doing this week's Raw wrap up. WWE wrap up. There was a lot of wrestling this week.
So much wrestling.
It just seemed like it's getting really good right now.
Yeah,
so
didn't look very good to me.
Well, I only saw the gems, which makes me scared now because we thought the
No, it was good. It was good. I did like the Mae Young semifinal. The semifinal for the ages.
The finals, I don't know. It was something.
Guys are so dumb. So, anyways, start with Raw, which opened with Jason Jordan facing off against Roman Reigns, continuing his facing off against the main event for the next pay-per-view.
Are they still doing the Kurt Angle?
Yeah, well, they were it looked like they were going to get away from it and stop talking about it, and then they just kept bringing it up throughout this match. So I guess that thing is back, which is unfortunate because it's just terrible. And the match is great, but the commentary was just god-awful.
I still like my idea of Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle, father-son team.
Yes.
Versus, what was the other? Chad Gable and Ken Shamrock as his father, and then they could have like a tag team match.
Anyway.
That would be the worst.
I mean, what's Ken Shamrock doing? Come on, they could bring him back.
Yeah. All right. So.
All right. Cool. We have audio. That's good. Yeah. So we are talking. Yes. You can hear us now.
Exactly.
So that's.
I don't know if they want to hear us.
If anybody out there is still watching, and as we talk about illegitimate sons and them fighting each other for sport. Leave comments in the sidebar. We are answering comments as we go.
I wish incest porn was more mainstream.
Go to Japan. If you
just throw that in the garbage. Along with your dreams and wishes and all the things you believed. Oh, God, that episode was so dark.
Anyways.
Yeah, no, next, please. I don't want to.
Like I said, it was a great match. Commentary was god-awful, though, and I'm officially bored with Cena Reigns.
Yeah, it's kind of over. They've done the same thing 3 times in a row.
Yeah, because Cena came out, and again, they did the whole, rap battle, diss party thing. Except all of Reigns' disses weren't true.
No.
Like, he's like, I'm selling more tickets than you. He's like, really? Because the arena's half empty.
Hey, well, yeah, those long shots were bad.
Hold on. You know how I know you're a John Cena fan?
Because I'm defending him?
Yeah, exactly.
You're defending John Cena.
Defending John Cena on Raw.
I don't think I'm defending John Cena. I'm just offended.
Your denial of your Cena fandom.
I'm offended by the writers for Roman Reigns because, like, if you're gonna throw crap at Cena, at least be truthful about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're talking about someone who is trash. You say, John, you're nothing. No, he's a 16-time world champion.
And again, okay, so you want to go that route, that's fine. But then you're like, you're failing in Hollywood. It's like, really? Because the only reason he's having this match now is because he'll be filming a Transformers movie at WrestleMania time.
Got a bunch of John Cena fans.
I know. Okay, so here it goes. When it comes to Roman Reigns, I'm a John Cena fan.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
and that's the thing. They're trying to do this as like a face or a tweener battle, when really it's just going to come out that Cena is the face and Reigns is the heel for that night, and then it goes back to normal the next night, and just
yeah, we're just kind of sick of that in general. And yeah, you got to really, is this the time you maybe turn Roman heel?
Yeah,
this could be it, because then you can really hurt John Cena, and then there's a reason for him to be gone for that extended period.
I don't think I could put my good name on that.
No, me either. Not wrestling.
So then Nia Jax came out in the middle of the women's match, and was looking very, very, very good.
Yes, I saw Nia and said, "Ooh, mommy."
I actually have written thicker than a snicker.
No, love Nia Jax.
And then she got on commentary and started talking, and it was just Mom's voice.
And then it's over.
Yeah, and it's just like, I want to see your manager.
You know whose voice she should have? Kathleen Turner's voice, circa like 1989 V.I. Warshawski era, just real husky and like.
V.I. Warshawski.
That's right, baby. I'm going deep in my references.
Oh my god.
Oh, hashtag VR Warshawski. Oh, only one person's ever. Oh, that's me.
So then the women's match was meh. I don't know. It didn't really do anything for me.
It's because you hate women.
That's a big part of it.
Well, really, I think I'm just sick of seeing the same group.
Right. And here's the thing. Yeah. You have Dana Brooke, you have Mickie James, you have Alicia Fox. Why are you not using them? Mm-hmm. Regardless.
When's Asuka coming out from NXT, or did she already do that?
Well, that's the thing. Okay. They announced it this episode, which we were going to talk. Yeah, no, it's fine. Mm-hmm. And honestly, it makes me sad because she's going to Raw, which means she's going to lose to Alexa Bliss, and I'm going to stop watching wrestling. Yeah,
it's going to happen. I really hope that maybe if they do decide to squash Asuka, they take the route that they took with Nia Jax, and they have to gang up. All three of them have to, a four-way. It's got to be a huge.
Here's the thing: I don't mind her being beat. I mind her being beat dumbly, so it doesn't serve a purpose.
Mm-hmm. When you have such a build up to a match, and then it's a stupid ending,
right? It's she's the queen. She's the queen of tomorrow. I mean, this is the goddess of today. Go, no. See, I'm booking it and hating myself. So, they had Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar came out next. Paul Heyman is doing his usual thing. It was really, really good, and then Braun Strowman came out and beat the living crap out of Brock Lesnar.
Oh, wow. This week in wrestling was the brutality week. Yeah. I think left and right it was.
But before that, when Heyman was talking, they're really pushing this generational thing because they were saying Braun Strowman coming in now is like when Brock Lesnar came in and beat the hell out of The Rock and Stone Cold.
God, I remember that, man. That was pretty nuts because Brock Lesnar's he really is another. I don't prefer his matches, but I don't deny what he is. I mean, the dude's insane.
He is a white gorilla. So, and I gotta give it to Brock. He was selling like a madman.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by the match at the end of the day, which is what they want. Because unlike Cena Reigns, I'm not bored of it yet.
Yeah, you just don't want to not see it.
Next match was Gold, and I apologize for we're going through this fast, but there's so much to talk about. Next match was Goldust versus Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt squashes Goldust. Goldust did get some offense in, so it wasn't too bad. And then Wyatt took washcloth and started wiping away Goldust's face paint.
Oh, dude. And then he kept saying he's just the man. He's just the man. Like Finn Balor, under this paint, he's just the man.
Right.
And, we talked about Goldust last week and just kind of what the paint really is to him, the evolution of the character and everything. So to do that's really a stab in the heart.
Yeah, it's kind of like, the luchador when you have the mask on. Yeah. Losing the mask is like an ultimate, sin, basically.
He's even gone as far with the Goldust character when they did, they've done Table for Three. He's been on two of them, I think. And one of them he didn't have the paint, and one of them he did.
Ah, okay.
So the one he did was when he was with R-Truth and...
Booker.
And, Booker.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I think it was him and his brother.
Yeah, I don't remember
and his
that
dad.
one.
Or so he's in a... Whatever, I'm probably wrong, but I think he's in a second one where you just see his face. But dude stays kayfabe.
So the next thing was Elias Sampson came out, except they're not calling him a Sampson anymore. It looks like the main roster name thief came back and took away his Sampson, so he's just Elias now.
Yep. I'm giving this guy credit.
And the push continues.
He plays guitar now.
I don't care.
I think he legitimately started not being able to play guitar.
I'm sure he did.
Now play and sing at the same time. I'm impressed.
It's the same old... I'm going to sit here and make fun of the crowd in a song, and I just...
it's really on the nose, so...
Next was Braun Strowman versus Cena, and I don't know, I wasn't very much impressed by the match. Strowman beats the hell out of Cena.
Oh my god, dude, that running slam that Strowman does is just...
that running power slam. So then Miz has his Miz TV segment, announces that Maurice is pregnant, so he's going to have a little Miz. And then then as he's about to give a speech about fatherhood, Enzo comes out and interrupts him. And Miz does a face turn for one match because he reads Enzo the Riot Act.
He destroys him. This was my favorite portion of wrestling this week, was this Miz portion.
Now, I have to say my favorite part being, obviously, him going at Enzo and just ripping him apart was great. But the reactions of Bo Dallas and Axel in the background while he's doing it are the best because they are both losing their crap. And like I said, it was a one-match face turn, and then at the end, he tries to get the heel heat back.
Well, one thing that you're skipping going to it is that they kept, because they're both so good on the microphone, they made the challenge about the microphone. So as they're in the ring, and if the Miz was up, he'd be punching down on him, smashing him into the ring, and then tell him, "Look what I'm doing to you." He smashed him down, and then he got up to the... he kept doing his phrases to himself, and then he gets up to go up to the top rope. Enzo knocks him down, and the microphone falls. Enzo picks it up, and then he starts doing his moves, and he starts talking, he's talking shit to the Miz directly. And then they just swapped the mic. It was really cool. I really like that aspect of the show. But then they get to the end part
where the final microphone. Yeah, the Miz Taraj just beats the living crap out of him.
It's brutality in every way, shape, and form.
I gotta say, I really did enjoy it. I like how the Miz's message was essentially, I've been in your shoes, and I worked my ass off to get out of your shoes, and you don't seem like the type of person to do that work. If you come with me, I'll help you out. And Enzo's like, I'm too proud. I'll never do that. And I think, honestly, it's the difference between The Miz and Enzo. The Miz wants to be there that damn bad. And he was willing to get dressed in the hallway and take the shit and being kicked off the tour bus. Whereas I think Enzo's going to get fed up and just wants to hang out with third-rate rappers. Yeah. And he's just going to walk away.
Well, and Miz actually says that, too.
Exactly.
He really... last year, right before SummerSlam, Miz ripped into Daniel Bryan. Yeah. And that was pretty bad then. He went 10 times further versus Enzo in this. And I wonder really how much of that was shoot and how much of that was...
Very well could.
It was it floated between the lines, I think.
Right, and again, it's, Miz has been in his shoes. He knows what he's going through. And
Undertaker kicked him out.
Exactly. So, then after the Miz Raj beats the crap out of Enzo, they show Enzo walking through the back halls looking all forlorn. I was waiting for the Charlie Brown music to start playing.
All I could see is George Michael from Arrested Development with
the theme from the Hulk.
So and then Neville walks by and he has the best laugh in the world.
Yeah,
he's just evil laughing.
Well, one thing that Miz kept saying in the shoot that he was doing on him too was that, do you think you're going to beat Neville? Right. Neville's a real athlete. Neville is so far beyond you.
Past him.
You're going to try something, and he's going to be there to stop you. So it was really interesting to see that, Miz really called him out. Yeah. I like it.
We said earlier in the night, they had Rollins and Ambrose on commentary. They were actually both really good. And it was the Club versus the Bar, and it eventually just devolved into the three teams going at each other. So Rollins and Ambrose went to Angle and said, "Hey, we want a match against both teams. We don't care." And Angle's like, "I can't do that, but find partners and we can get it done." So it shows them walking around the backstage area. They come upon Jamie Noble and Dean Malenko, and Dean Ambrose goes, "It's the man of 1,000 holds."
I love that. Really, that a lot of these guys are nerds for the guys from the 90s. Mm-hmm. The guys from the 90s are willing to show up at any moment. Yeah. Love it.
So then they eventually fall upon the Hardys, and Matt is he's fully woken. And he is broken Matt. Yeah. Well, woken Matt. Yeah, exactly.
He's not hiding it a little bit. He did the wide open mouth. Yep. He said, "Wonderful!" And he did the whole thing. It was beautiful.
So they're the tag partner. So that match comes on. The Club didn't get an entrance twice in one night. Like that.
Yeah, it's messed up.
That's messed up. But it was the Club and the Bar versus Rollins and Ambrose, which they really need a team name, and the Hardys. And Ambrose had an amazing sell to a big boot from Gallows. That was the one thing I took away.
So, all right.
Ambrose
had the Club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have the Bar. So what's another place the pub?
The pub.
There you go.
That would be the Club, the Bar, the pub.
Yep.
And then they just have barroom fight, pub-style fights all the time. That's their thing.
So, the one thing I remember from this match is, like I said, Ambrose had an amazing sell to a Gallows big boot. It was Flair flop level. That's how well he sold it. I was a huge fan of it. But the match was a match. I mean, it was what you would expect. You've got 8 dudes who know how to do it in the ring, So it was good. Overall, I enjoyed the episode, and I thought, wow, another great episode of Raw. There's no way SmackDown could be better. And I was wrong.
You were wrong. Wrestling is getting so good right now, and I'm going back to what I had said, that there must have been some kind of swap where Raw's weaker writers went to SmackDown, and a few of the really strong writers from SmackDown went to Raw, and now the ships are starting to right themselves.
Out. Exactly.
And they're starting to excel because now both shows are making you care about everything.
Exactly.
But SmackDown,
yeah.
Wow.
Was so good. So SmackDown started off with Kevin Owens saying how he's going to sue the WWE and he's going to take
because Shane
McMahon put his hands on him. He's going to take for
straight
everything
hand McMahon.
Yep. He's like, and it doesn't matter because you'll never see Shane McMahon again.
Shane McMahon always crashes.
Yeah. And then Shane McMahon, his music hits. And Dolph Ziggler comes out as Shane McMahon.
Nice. So awesome. And he did the thing.
Exactly.
And for a second, I went, wait, that's not Dolph Ziggler. Wait, that's Dolph Ziggler.
And then Owens goes, Dolph, I love you, man. I can't wait to have you on the Kevin Owens show.
And he kept screaming, like, before he realized it was Dolph, he was going, no!
Yeah.
No!
So then he also lists the people he will be firing, like Sami Zayn.
Oh, yeah.
And the fashion police. And then Daniel Bryan comes out and is like, Mr. McMahon is coming, so you can continue this charade all you like, but just so you know, you're not going to be happy by what he has to say. So then we moved on, and this is where I lose the plot.
Yeah, this is where it all kind of goes a little.
Yeah. Do you have this up, like the rundown of SmackDown?
Okay, so next up we have the Usos versus New Day.
This match was amazing.
This could have been one of the best matches of the year, I think, for tag matches, because even though it was a 4-man match, tag team
Las Vegas street fight.
Las Vegas street fight. What was awesome is the New Day came down without Xavier Woods.
Yep. Woods came in, they came down, and then he left.
And he left.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was the entrance. That was it.
Yep.
And then he came out at the end. So. Spoiler warning, if you haven't watched any of this, a lot of big stuff happened this week.
How many times have the Usos and the New Day had matches?
Not very many.
Really?
They've mostly been
because
carrying...
when I started watching with you guys, like it seemed like every week they were having some kind of...
That was because the New Day just came over to SmackDown. This is really their first time. They have gone at it in the past, but not very many because they're so strong. They're both so strong. Mm-hmm. They tend to keep them away from each other.
Okay.
But now that they have the bar and the club on Raw, they can
the pub.
They can move New Day over to SmackDown and do some new matches that way.
So during this match, what I did really, really like about it was the tights. What they were wearing was the up, down, down colors. So it was pink, blue, black, and pink, blue, and black,
and white,
laced in there. Big E is looking cut. He's looking good.
Yeah,
he's really working out. He's got the big chest. Yeah. He's got a big gut, but that's like starting to go away. I don't know if he's hanging out with Big Show or something.
But yeah,
he's working.
It was an awesome match. I loved it. They set up the table super early, so early that I forgot they had set up the table. Oh, nice. And then finally, when the Uso goes through it surprised the living hell out of me.
Big E taking kick after kick after kick, double super kicks, getting down. He's down on his knees, taking kicks to the face. So you have Big E laying in the middle of the ring. He's about to get the double Uso. And instead, Kofi jumps up and pushes Jimmy, Jay, Ray, any of whichever Uso was up
Ray.
there.
And you can call me Jay.
So Ray J. Uso ends up getting pushed off of the top rope.
Now, is that the same guy that was in the tape with Kim Kardashian? Ray J. Uso, is that?
You know what? I'm going to say allegedly. He may have been holding the camera. So, no, he gets pushed off the top rope through the table. Yeah. It immediately reminds you, and he hits it hard because he doesn't hit the middle of it. He took it to the extreme, like towards the ring. Yeah. So if the ring is squared like this, he took it here.
Is that how rings are?
They're squared.
Oh,
so where he took it was like right over the legs, basically.
Yes.
He hit his head on the ground pretty nicely. It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
But then that sets them up for Midnight Hour.
Yep.
And
Midnight. Is it Midnight Hour? Midnight. Yeah, whatever. regardless.
The Billy Idol song.
Well, normally, what is it? It's the big drop or the big
ending.
The big ending when E does it.
Yeah.
But when Kofi's involved, it's the
midnight hour. Yeah.
It's the midnight hour. So.
So Kofi comes off the top rope and helps Big E through the big ending, and New Day win.
Titles again.
Yeah, titles again.
And I wasn't mad at it. Like,
no.
They kind of been throwing the titles back and forth, but every match is that good that you go, this could go either way at any moment.
Exactly.
So.
It keeps it fresh. So.
Unlike
that was
the air in this room.
Yes.
Ooh, so we have been down here, just so everybody knows. We've been down here for a little while. We've eaten now pizza. We've watched a lot of wrestling.
Yeah.
And because of the audio, we have to keep the windows closed. So it is getting thick in here.
Yeah, man. Producer Bobby T is really cracking the whip down on us.
Oh yeah, no, I shut the window.
Last week we didn't do a good enough job, so he started to take things away from us. So we're losing the fan, we're losing the window.
My dignity.
Exactly.
That's been going for years.
So that's why you guys like, share, and subscribe. So, maybe if we get to 100 subscribers, the window can open a little bit while we record. Is that?
Nope.
No.
So that'll be #5Live. Nope.
We can get our own personal fan.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna next week. I'm gonna come in here with one of those fans that plugs into the bottom of my phone and
just slam it onto your yokai watch.
Yeah, man. I told you guys last live show that I was rocking this from now on.
You did. We can't actually be mad at you for wearing that. You did flat out say that. That's what was going on.
So that was the first of our championship matches, which was excellent. Then what came next?
All right, so let me scroll through the card here. Sorry guys, we were poorly prepared for this one. Really what happened was we were way putting this night over and did not take any notes because we were too busy
fanning out.
So all right, Vinnie Max in the house. AJ Styles versus Ty
AJ Styles
Dillinger.
for Ty Dillinger was the U.S. Championship match, and again, an amazing match.
Is AJ doing the same thing with like John Cena, where it's like open challenge for the?
Yeah, essentially, but they're driving it towards a Styles Corbin thing. Corbin came out in the middle of the match, tried to interfere, takes the phenomenal forearm in the mouth. And, another great match. I love the Dillinger push. I hope they don't back away from it. Now that it's kind of over. But they made it look strong.
AJ shook his hand. I think we're working kind of with the same angle that we're working with, kind of sort of with Jason Jordan. Put Dillinger up against good guys. Even if he loses, he still gets the rub. It's okay if you don't beat AJ Styles. It's okay if you don't beat John Cena or Roman Reigns. We get it. Yeah. But you did a good show. So, all right. So it was Naomi versus Natalya.
That was the third championship match, the women's championship rematch from SummerSlam, and it was an okay match.
I didn't really care, kind of one way or the other. I didn't think they were going to drop the title to Naomi in a night where we just saw
New Day win back. So Natty
this.
retains, and there was nothing really crazy about it.
So now throughout the episode, we have Kevin Owens going to different heels. He sees Aiden English, and he says, "Oh, I love your voice. You can sing the new theme when it's the Kevin Owens show."
Aiden English improvises a new theme for the Kevin Owens show right there. And, he's just going up to different heels like he did with Dolph Ziggler. It's like, I can't wait when this is the Kevin Owens show. You're going to be a featured player.
Yeah. It was so good.
And then he sees Sammy, and they have a little stare-off that was excellent. And this is the only time we saw Sammy all night, which was kind of upsetting.
And he burns him a little bit. Like, Kevin Owens burns him, and he says, "Oh, don't worry. In the future, I'm going to fire you. And when the Armory start calling, you're going to beg me."
No. He's going to say, "We made a promise to never come back here.
Yeah.
I'm going to allow you to break that promise."
Yeah, when let the Armory start calling.
Yeah.
And
then we had Chad Gable.
I was just going up for that one. So Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin come out for
the Golden Gods.
Really premiere.
Let's just start calling them the Golden Gods.
I like the Golden Gods.
Yeah.
We're good.
So you got the pub, the Golden Gods.
Yeah.
Well, and it works
because...
because...
We are naming tag teams on this show,
So we've
folks.
got the Golden Standard. We get that. So, but then I get with Gable, he was an Olympian.
Olympic champion,
The Olympians are Greek. The Greeks are gods.
Golden Gods.
I like it. We're going up there on that one.
So, So the Golden Gods versus
Hashtag 5 Live Golden Gods.
How about the technical difficulties? No, is that,
no, I'm not on the team.
Yeah. So they are both two excellent technical wrestlers who would give you difficulties. Damn it! I talked myself into it.
Yeah, they might be the technical difficulties.
So can't you let me have anything? But this was an excellent match, and it also drove a little bit more down the Hype Bros breakup road.
So they do beat the Hype Bros pretty quick.
Yeah,
I didn't time the match, but it was less than 5 minutes.
And it looks like Ryder's going to be
Ryder's going to go,
turn, which is classic Zack Ryder, because next month he is a special guest at NYCC because he's getting his own Funko Pop, and he'll be in the middle of a heel turn.
The bad guys like toys too, right?
So that's actually a little bit of a good segue. We have hashtag 5Live NYCC because we will be at Comic-Con this year.
Yeah. No matter how much New York Comic-Con
Doesn't
tried to hold
there.
us down. Yeah, we
broke it.
We shall overcome.
Yeah, no, these guys, man, they did everything they could to keep us out, but you can't keep us out.
Can't stop, won't stop.
So we have a few really great interviews lined up. We're going to be revealing who these are in the future, doing little exclusives because everyone's
George
got an
Lucas
and Stan Lee.
Stan Lee, and by Stan Lee, we of course mean a Chinese man who is named Stan Lee.
And Jim Steranko.
Yes,
John Steranko's granduncle.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's going to be pretty great. We have a lot lined up. So keep a hold of that on 5Alive Live. I'm sorry, 5Live NYCC. Yep. We also have hashtag 5Live Live.
Yes, which we are in the middle of. So back to, I believe it.
So now that brings us basically to the craziest part of the
entire
show.
Vince McMahon shows up and he does No Chance.
Oh wait, dude, we didn't talk all about Warrior before we get into the. So Dolph Ziggler comes out again.
Yes.
We kind of blazed over this earlier.
Yeah.
So first he comes out as Shane McMahon. Then he comes out as Bayley.
Yep.
And everyone's laughing.
And Bayley's actually there because it's also the Mae Young Classic.
So she, he goes back in, and then he goes, maybe you want somebody who I am 1,000 times better than that.
Who is all flash and no substance.
Yeah, and just totally tears apart this mystery superstar. And he goes, and you guys look at him with reverence, and I have to come out here and do this, and you give me nothing. And he comes out to the Ultimate Warrior. And he runs down, he slides into the ring, and he runs the ropes, and he shakes them.
He shakes the ropes.
He's wearing warrior face paint. Or, the warrior mask that he put on.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
they're in Vegas. He tears them apart, and they're in Vegas, which means the Ultimate Warrior's wife, Dana Warrior. Yes, that's right. Yes. They changed their last name to Warrior because how carny can you get?
Because then Vince can't take your money.
Exactly. So, and she looks like the bad.
She looked like Cruella DeVille.
No, she looked like the bad lady in First Contact, the bad Borg queen. She even had like that hair with the tendrils up.
Yeah, it was like
and it was like pulled back. Yeah,
I believe I said she unfurled her teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just awful.
Yeah,
and again, like I don't want to pick on someone, but then she came back at Dolph Ziggler like, "How dare you disrespect me in the front seat?"
Yeah.
How hot
Where was she getting mad last week when he did it to Macho Man?
She basically did subreddit. I am very badass.
Yeah.
Don't make me hop the fence, and I'll next time you disrespect me when I'm in the front row. Yeah, first off, you're not doing anything because if you try and hop anything, your bones are so brittle they will fall.
No, but for real, she jumps that fence, guest or not, the security's going to tackle her.
But regardless, it was terrible. It was Ziggler's new thing, which I'm fine with because it keeps Ziggler on TV. So.
That's what I'm good with. But I do have a little bit of a minor fantasy booking with this, and it seems like this is the way that we're kind of aimed, is that I think we're going to see after this No Mercy event, the us versus them, and it's going to be heels being Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens, Aiden English, and who's the other one he spoke to? Baron Corbin.
He didn't speak to Baron Corbin,
but that's your heel.
Baron Corbin.
Versus AJ Styles, Ty Dillinger, Shane McMahon and Sami Zayn.
Yep.
For control of SmackDown.
But I thought Baron Corbin...
that feels like a Survivor Series match. It's perfectly
But I thought
built
Baron Corbin was a lone wolf.
Well, that's the whole thing. They'll get him on the team, and then
Yeah.
he'll leave. He'll leave early.
He'll screw him
Maybe
over.
he'll get like a tattoo like
He'll
Will Ferrell. So
yeah.
it'll be the wolf, but then a couple pups poking through there.
He'll be getting
He'll be
getting a tattoo in the middle of the match, so he won't be able to compete.
Yeah, there you go. That too.
Terrible. It'll be over his belly fat.
The frowning belly.
It'll be Po Buddy's Nerfic like murder face.
The frowning belly. You just put that in the chat room.
So, anyways, So McMahon comes out to No Chance, and he's doing the whole, I'm Vince McMahon. I'll put you in a Punjabi prison crap.
Punjabi prison.
He goes at Owens, and he's saying, "You're gonna sue me. You have any idea how many times I've been in a courtroom? I've never lost." You know
how many times Turner tried to...
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
The system is set up for guys like me to succeed. I can keep you tied up in red tape for years. You'll be penniless. I'm a billionaire. You'll be bankrupt. All that stuff that reminds you of the world today and makes you sad.
Speaking of the Rick and Morty episode from this week again.
So Owens basically comes back with, all right, but your son put his hands on me.
Yeah.
I need some sort of retribution. And Vince McMahon's like, well, you'll get it. It's going to be Hell in a Cell, you versus Shane. So Owens comes back with, all right, but I need your guarantee that if I put my hands on him, McMahon, I'm not getting fired. Because I'm not going to get through this match, survive it, and then get fired the next day. And Vince goes, you have my word. If you harm McMahon, you will not be fired.
Yeah, if you harm a McMahon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And the problem is they did the same thing that movies do today. They over-explained.
Yeah, a little bit.
Whereas Owens headbutts, full-on headbutts Vince.
Straight to the
nose.
Busts
him hard way. And Vince falls down and
forehead.
And then Owens picks up the mic and says, "Remember, you said I can harm any McMahon." It's like, no, you just said it. You don't have to repeat it.
Yeah, we're good.
You could have just said
But some audience members are dumb.
Right. Well,
that's what we have to remember.
You gotta hold their hand and connect the dots for them.
So he then proceeds to kick him.
Yep.
Super kick him.
Yep, and then hog splash him.
And then hog splashes him.
That's a frog splash.
While the guy, he has someone trying to... I don't know, who was that in the ring?
I believe... No, it wasn't Joey Mercury.
No, it wasn't Mercury. I thought it was, but it was he was bigger than Mercury. Either way, he was saying, what are you trying to do? He's your boss. And he just hog splashes him.
Nice.
Right there in the middle of the ring. McMahon is just destroyed. So, obviously, next week, we're going to get Shane on the show.
I'm saying we're getting Stephanie.
Yeah, Shane or Stephanie.
She showed up. Stephanie came down at the end. Everyone's there because it's Mae Young Classic finale. So
semifinal. Semifinal then.
So Stephanie comes down and stares down Kevin Owens, says you made a big mistake.
Now you got to wrestle Triple H, and he's going to bury. This
is the thing. I've seen a couple things that this might be the push of Triple H trying to take over WWE, bringing in his NXT guys, all led by Kevin Owens. And you look back at the history, Kevin Owens has always been Triple H's guy. He's the one who he handed the title to. So
literally handed.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope that would be really cool, especially if it turns into an invasion angle, and you have guys like Sammy having to pick sides and stuff. So, anyways, that could be a one way it goes. Who the hell knows? We are once again just fat dumb guys.
Dude, sitting in the basement talking about wrestling.
So
now we move on to 205.
No, it's Mae Young Classic.
You want to go Mae Young Classic? You want to do it in order?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's Mae Young Classic next.
Come on, there's a structure. It's got to go this, then that.
So wait, so semifinals, then finals,
then.
But then you go back.
It was semifinal, then. It was semifinal, then final, then having to fight Mae Young.
Yeah,
that's how it was. That's
the
how
shambling corpse of Mae Young.
That's how you win the Mae Young Invitational.
They just throw a funeral urn at her.
Dude, they had Mark Henry carrying her down into the.
No, Mark Henry's carrying their hand child. She gave birth to that time.
You have
the trophy.
You have to wrestle it a la Kenny Omega.
Oh, dude, that would have been awesome.
The trophy should have been a giant hand covered in green slime.
So
Sharon Corbin.
Yes, the finals were Shayna Baszler, who looks like Baron Corbin's female clone, who I've nicknamed Sharon Corbin. I know I'm not the first person to think of that, but I never heard anyone else say it, so I'm going with it. But yeah, I like her more than Baron Corbin, but I should like her more than I like her. Her uncanny resemblance to Baron Corbin makes me not like her.
Yeah, no, she's pretty bad. This is a pretty good match.
Star. She was an MMA star. So she's going up against Kairi Sane, who's from Stardom over in Japan.
That was for the final match.
Yes, that was the final match. And it was an excellent match. They made you believe that someone who is Kairi's size could take down someone who's Shayna's size, who's so much bigger, just by working a body part, and specifically the ribs. Mm-hmm. Especially because all of Kairi's offense revolves around that midsection, and ultimately culminating with her ridiculous elbow drop off the top rope.
I liked her Power Ranger, Sentai get up because she's got the pirate deal going on. Mm-hmm. So that's straight out of
straight out of Go Kiger.
Well, yeah, because she's got the whole she's got the long cloak, and then she's got the pirate wheel and stuff like that. So come on.
She is known as the Pirate Princess.
I'm sorry, was this because we really did mix
This
up
is the final. No, this is
what was the one? Where did she get thrown out and smashed?
That was the semifinal against Tori.
Yeah.
Tony. Sorry. Yeah.
She took it in the face.
That was harsh.
And Lita said something about that too after clearly
you could see the indentations of the grates on her head.
Blood,
and she's
stripes.
I think she took a hit in the face. Ultimately, Lita and JR were not bad, but they were not good, and they certainly were not great. And they missed a lot of stuff that they should have talked about both in the semifinal and the final. And I just, it was they could have done so much better. But what are you gonna do? I can't complain because all of the matches from the
what was going on in the ring
was
so much better.
Yeah.
So
it was really, really good. Shayna, I think they're gonna sign both of them, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And not, I think they'll go the cruiserweight.
They're doing. You were saying that they're gonna have the four horsemen.
They're gonna do four horsewomen of WWE, which is Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley, versus the four horsewomen of MMA, which is Sharon Corbin, Ronda Rousey, and two no names. Yeah. And I think they're gonna go up against the four horsewomen of Sex and the City. Which is
that's pretty terrible. Are they gonna bring Rousey over to WWE?
Yeah, Rousey's already training with Brian Kendrick at the Performance Center.
So she's lost a few times in MMA, and basically her name. She's always been
a huge WWE fan, to her credit. But yes, that's essentially what's happening. Her MMA career is done. She doesn't want to fight anymore because there is every chance that she will get her ass kicked. So what happened is when she first came on the scene, it wasn't old enough to produce the people who were better than her. But then people who were primarily boxers like Holly Holm get just enough defense that they can hold her judo off, and then they have the striking power that she doesn't have. And she's just no longer a novel.
Yeah, she's fighting against the evolution of herself.
Exactly. She's no longer the pinnacle. She's last year's model.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing,
and again, that was a horrendously simple way of looking at it. I do not know what I'm talking about with MMA. Well, I'm just parroting things I've heard Joe Rogan say.
The other thing too is why risk injury. More so in MMA, where you can come to the WWE, where things are more scripted and planned out.
That's what Lesnar does.
Yeah, I mean, injuries do happen in the WWE, but obviously it's not to the extent of an MMA fighter and stuff like that.
And you're starting to see that more and more. Like, they had the big names like Lesnar and Rampage and Tito, but now you're starting to see it with some of the not so big names like Matt Riddle's making a massive name for himself in the Indies, Shayna Baszler, So you're starting to see it become more and more accepted in the MMA world as an alternative to getting your face legitimately punched in.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, it's okay. I thought Brock Lesnar was thinking about going back to MMA too. Okay,
because it's a payday.
But currently, when it comes down to it, he has a contract with WWE till April. He also, and he can't fight till then.
Yeah.
He can't even start really training until then because he's also got a ban for substances. So for PEDs,
no.
So he has to go through that.
He ate too many Jimmy John's sandwiches.
And then, so that is something like May, I believe, just before his.
So he
April
wouldn't be able to fight
release.
before like September.
Yeah, so you need like 4 or 5 months to really get down to weight, train up, and get ready for a fight. So if we're talking about Brock Lesnar fighting, like I said, we're September, October, December would be nice, year-end fight.
Exactly.
You know, a huge UFC event.
And then come back to the WWE.
And then,
that's
and he can see, that's the thing, he can slide back into WWE, but to go into UFC is like an uphill battle. So,
but yeah, so that's where we stand as far as that goes. Looks like they announced Kairi Sane is getting a shot at the women's title at Takeover. Where is Survivor Series?
Survivor Series. Wait 1 second.
Takeover Timbuktu. So we don't know who the women's champion is going to be because Asuka dropped the belt last week, saying she's moving on to the main roster. So obviously they're going to have either some sort of a tournament or number one contender thing. But I am truly intrigued to see.
loves their tournaments.
They do. I'm truly intrigued to see who they put up against Kairi Sane because I think that could be a very good match.
So one of the things that I wanted to see out of this, and it seems like they're trending towards more female tag teams, especially in NXT. We have Billy and Billy Page?
Billy and Peyton.
So we have Billy and Peyton. We also have what we saw this week. We'll skip on to NXT.
Yeah, this week on NXT, Ruby Riott and Nikki Storm teamed up, or Nikki Cross. Teamed up. And against
this was a pretty good match. I really enjoyed it. And I don't usually like Billy Kay and
Peyton Royce.
But this was a really good. This showed off a lot of their skills. I was really happy with it. So I think that we're gonna see soon possibly a female tag team belt.
Yeah, very well could be. I don't know.
And that it would have to be an NXT because we have. I mean, T Generation X is not going down.
See, this is the thing that I want, and I think this is what. McIntyre was what McIntyre was driving towards, which is NXT is not a demotion anymore. It's just a sideways move.
Yeah,
which would be nice.
Survivor Series is in Houston.
Okay, so Takeover Houston,
November 19th.
So I don't know. I don't know if anyone would ever. If it will ever get to be like this, but I think they want to try and push NXT as a separate brand.
So like on the same line as Smackdown, Raw.
It would be the number 3 show instead of that's a different thing altogether.
Exactly, that's the feed
or our
system.
minor league. Yeah,
exactly. We skipped over 205 Live. Not, I mean, there was a lot that happened. Nothing crazy.
The best thing that happened.
Yes. So, Drew Gulak has been doing his PowerPoint presentation trying to make 205 Live better.
220 slides or whatever, and he got through.
250. It was 255.
He got through slide 5.
It would have been better if he had 205 slides. Missed opportunity, WWE.
So slide 5 was no interruptions, and then he gets interrupted by the Fashion Police.
Yes.
And is just
Fandango with the nose rubbing on the face.
Dude, that was hilarious.
We were seriously sitting here cracking up.
He's just a dude who knows how to make people laugh. He's got a natural comedic timing. And my wife was like, "Who is this idiot?" And then that happened. She starts laughing, and I'm like, "That is who that is." He's a dude who is handed a shit sandwich and has made gold out of it.
Absolutely.
And then the final match was Kendrick versus Alexander, and Jack Gallagher, who Kendrick worked over in a no DQ match, comes out to save Alexander and then proceeds to beat the living shit out of Cedric Alexander, completing a heel turn out of nowhere, which I am a huge fan of.
It was so good.
I didn't think there was anybody in the WWE that was paler than Sheamus.
No.
I was wrong. No. Yeah, I was wrong.
No,
Dude,
well, they're both pale gingers, though.
Yeah.
I want Conan O'Brien to recreate Pale Force and just have it be Sheamus and Jack Gallagher and Paige and just have them team together.
Uh-oh, Chris has got a cramp. Uh-oh, our first 5 Live cramp. I think he blew his ACL.
So, moving on to NXT, though.
Oh, Chris has got to walk it out.
Oh, yeah, dude, it hurts.
Gonna need some water, some oranges.
So, 205, NXT had a lot of good matches, as usually does, and I particularly enjoyed the Johnny Gargano versus Riddick.
That was really good. I like
Mothman.
that they're working an old setup too.
Yes.
Like this looks like they've had this plan.
Exactly.
That's kind of what's nice.
And then they had Street Profits versus the Ely brothers for the rights of the Golden Tights. They're both wearing black and gold.
They really were.
Yeah, it was awful. It was a decent match, but it's just, I don't know. You had the best observation on this match.
I think what I was saying when I watched this was I think everything you're doing is technically proficient and perfect in every way, shape, and form. I love the way that they sold everything. I love the way that they were doing the moves. They were doing really inventive stuff. I like the spin
into the forearm,
into the forearm into the corner, and then doing the spin into the other corner.
Yeah.
But I want to see Kofi Kingston do that. These guys brought no heat to like anything they did.
Yeah, it was like you said, it was technically proficient, but it wasn't like
we were watching acrobats.
Yeah, it didn't, like you said, it didn't sell anything. The difference between, say, Kairi Sane's elbow and that dude's frog splash is Kairi Sane's elbow looks like it hurts both her and her opponent. Whereas that frog splash looked like it didn't hurt anything.
It was perfect.
It was perfect. It was impactful, except for you can tell. Yeah, no, it's
who cares?
Yeah.
And sadly, I think that basically, speaking of impact, that's where it landed you. This is There's an example of that match. Like I'm talking about it and I'm yawning. It's just, but again, perfect moves.
Yeah, perfect.
Beautiful stuff. I mean, do we see them move up into like a Nation of Domination?
No,
thing
I don't. Like, they were nowhere. They were nowhere near ready. I don't want to.
No, obviously, no. They're not ready to move up. My point is where do you move someone up like that?
I don't.
Where
think
do you go?
Can.
And I don't think you can.
Yeah, and they were seen to be over with the crowd, but I think that's just because they've been pushed for so long in NXT.
Yeah, they kind of have to be now.
Kind of like the Vaudevillians got to a point where they were there so much that people were just like, hey, we're supposed to like these people.
The Vaudevillains are a very good example of why it's now going to be good that NXT is a third brand as opposed to a minor league, because now you don't have to move somebody up and you can work with them and do a little bit more with them. Look, NXT is still going to be developmental.
Yeah.
And when they go from NXT to Raw or Smackdown, we're going to call it a move up to the main roster, or they're being brought up. We're always going to say that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to go away. That said, run it as a third brand doesn't bother me.
No, I don't have a problem with that either.
Accomplishments.
Exactly.
When you beat Bobby Roode for the title, or you beat Shinsuke Nakamura or Finn Balor, the names that come out that have held this title, it makes sense.
Exactly.
There's reverence there. So I'm really happy that they're moving in that direction at least.
And then the final match of the night was Pete Dunne versus Wolfgang for the UK Championship match.
I love Pete Dunne. And for those who don't know,
it was awesome. It was a great match as per usual because it was Pete Dunne. And then at the end, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly come out and proceed to beat the shit out of both dudes.
I thought they might have actually taken that they were going to possibly join up with Pete Dunne.
Right, because Pete Dunne is a sneaky cunt. So they beat the crap out of Wolfgang and then turned and beat the crap out of Pete Dunne. They go to leave Pete Dunne alone to beat the Wolfgang out more. Pete Dunne sneaks away, and he's walking up the ramp, and it looks like he's going to run back down and try and save Wolfgang.
Yeah, he does charge up run. He goes to slide it on his chest.
He grabs his belt and turns around and leaves.
Unbelievable.
It's Pete Dunne to a T.
He is such an awesome heel, and he's the best.
Yeah. So then Tyler Bate and Trent Seven of Mustache Mountain come out to save Wolfgang and run off Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly. And, so that's where we are. I'm assuming we're getting a Mustache Mountain versus Red Dragon match, which I didn't think I would ever see something like that.
Yeah, and here it is.
Like,
Triple H, buddy.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
So Chris is still working a cramp out over there. Oh boy, he yokai'd a little too hard that time. So
try to sit back down.
But so that's where we are, and I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't.
Yeah, it's very good. So I think with that, we've been Five Alive.
Dude, I'm back just in time.
I am Bobby T.
I'm Martin.
And I'm Kriza.
Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow us at 5AliveVP on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and use hashtags at 5Alive, at 5Alive Toy Picks for any of your toy pictures. That'll get you into a raffle that we will do when we hit 100 subscribers, which we're creeping up on.
We're also at 5AliveVP on Reddit, as I guess u/5AliveVP, and then we would also the same 5AliveVP on Patreon.
Yes.
We're going to put together some rewards. There will be some T-shirts. There will be oil picks.
This San Pellegrino can.
There'll be half-drank stuff. This yokai watch.
That's right.
This
Boba Fett down there.
This Dell laptop.
Absolutely not.
These guitars that are behind Martin there.
Yep.
Yeah.
These chairs that we're sitting on.
Exactly.
Nope.
This Five Alive table.
So yeah, not in a million years. Like, share, and subscribe.